Hi. Hi everyone, my name is Chris Henry, and I've been sitting here for about 20 minutes trying to figure out how to start this video. One, I'm filming this on my phone instead of my camera, as I have done for the past few videos on here. When was that? 6 months ago? I don't really know where any of my stuff is. I do kind of feel like I need to buy a new camera. Anyway, I'm filming this on my phone, so I'm sorry if I'm looking in weird directions. Hi! Hi, it's been a while. Um, I'm just gonna start off the bat by saying that for the past couple of days, really, I've just been kind of itching to get back into YouTube. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I just needed a 2-3 year long break. But I really want to get back into some type of routine. And I remember when I left YouTube like half a year ago, I mentioned that I will be coming back on YouTube, hopefully to talk about my book and share some updates about that, because it's been years since I first announced that on my channel here. And when I first announced the name of my book a few months ago on my Instagram, I thought, well, I should have made like a YouTube video sharing it, because I don't know, my whole like social media journey and everything began here on YouTube for almost a decade. And I just want to say hello and thank you to anybody who is maybe still here from that time. It's just crazy to kind of think about. So I kind of feel like I owed you all like a little one-to-one talk about my book. And this video may be boring to you if you are not interested in my book. Whenever I do talk about it on like TikTok or Instagram, I always kind of feel like I'm forcing people to listen about it. I always feel bad talking about it. Whenever I'm on like TikTok live or something and I get questions about it and I talk about it, I always see the views going down. I'm like, oh, people don't really care. So if you're watching this video, you hopefully care because you saw the title. And I just have so much to say about this book, and I have no one to talk about it to. So sorry, I'm a little bit getting over a cold right now. And I thought, you know what, let me just make a YouTube video about it, to just kind of talk about all of the things, give you an update on where it is at, because I know I've been working on this book for years now. I think it was back in 2017 that I first announced here on YouTube that I was writing a book. And ever since I filmed that video, I did want to make it a thing that I talk about on my channel a lot, because even when I was like, I'm just gonna move around my mouse because that's my light at the moment. Even when I was writing my book, and even when I was like a really young teenager, I would watch these booktuber, author tubers all the time share their writing experience, their publishing experience online, and it was so fascinating to me, and I always thought I want to do that so bad. Just like share everything about my whole publishing journey and writing journey. And now that it's gotten so close to everything happening, so one, the release date of my book is January 28th, 2022. And when I think about my book, I think about it. Well, first of all, let me share with you guys the title. If you've not seen it yet on my Instagram, the title is called On Thin Ice, the story and diary of a male anorexic. I've been told that title is a little bit too boring. You know, people recommended, what was it? Letters from Inpatient something of recovery, journal of recovery, something like that. But I just really wanted to make the title exactly what this book is. And what this book is basically a compilation of all of my journal entries that I kept within treatment for my eating disorder. And what I did was I took my original journal that you guys have probably seen before. I used to read it here on my YouTube channel. I took those entries. Of course, I didn't just copy it word for word. I had to expand on things. I had to add things. I had to kind of create more of a story, with my journal. But what I did was I took every single entry from my journal and I made it into a book. And in between those entries are short little essays about things that was going on in my life, people in my life, situations in my life, that were all very significant at that time. So, for example, if I talk about, I'm making this up, if I, in my journal entry, mention Pepsi Zero and how much I love Pepsi Zero, or maybe I just mention it, right? And then you're like, oh, that's kind of weird. So then after that, there will be a whole essay on my love for Pepsi Zero. Of course, it's not that stupid. It's more so my sister and school and my first relationship. Not really, but kind of. Transferring schools. Just a lot of very significant things that were going on during, this whole really dark time of my life, leading up to me going into treatment. So yeah, it's not just the journal, it's hopefully also a story. I really wanted to also just make it a story and not make it only about me. What I really wanted to do was just give readers who don't know who I am, just a real inside glimpse of what it is like inside the mind of somebody who is struggling with an eating disorder. I hope my perspective is slightly unique, being a boy, being a teenager at the time. I just wanted to give a different perspective, and I want people to read it and think and almost know what it feels like to be suffering from an eating disorder, but not really, because that's kind of dark. Just understand what's going on in my brain. You know what I mean? And on top of that, have a story with a plot, hopefully, and with characters, and with conflicts and climaxes and all the typical book things. How long is this? 8 minutes? Okay. I wanted to have all of those elements in there. I didn't just want it to be my book. I mean, my journal. Even though I hope, whenever you guys, whenever I would read my journal on here, you guys would always like this video. So that's kind of where the inspiration for this came from. What I'm looking at here on my computer desk is all of my drafts of my book. This was my first draft. This is the completed manuscript, October 2019. On Thin Ice, the story and diary of a male anorexic. And what I did with this draft was, the reason why I'm sharing this is because I think it's interesting when I watch people talk about stuff like this. So if you don't want to listen to this, that's fine. But what I did was I read this copy, and I don't remember. I think, yes, I put every excerpt through Grammarly. So to get any really basic grammar errors down, I would put the Grammarly score up on every single page. And this copy I solely edited and made notes in. And then I took those edits, blah, blah, blah. And I created the second draft, which was completed November 26th of 2020. So over a year later. And this copy went to all of my beta readers. I had 3 beta readers. Now, granted, maybe they weren't the most professional of beta readers. They were my friends, my therapist. So their perspectives were probably very biased, and I knew that going into it. But they provided some really great feedback. As you can see, just if you open the book, you know, there's a lot of notes and whatnot. And yeah, so 3 people read this copy. And then I applied those notes and I created the new draft, which I don't remember when that was. Anyway, then that draft I brought to my developmental editor, which I could talk about this in like another video if you want. But I got a developmental editor, which is basically like the first like round of professional edits you do, I think. More so heavy to do with plot lines and stuff like that, and just like creating the story almost. And really, my biggest critiques were like applying more vulnerability into my text, adding more dialogue, stuff like that. Just I would like briefly mention things, and then my editor would be like, no, expand on that, show some vulnerability. So my developmental edits took me a while. I don't remember when that was exactly. I could find out if I want to make another video about it. Sorry, I'm getting over a little bit of a cold. And then this past month, on October 4th, I hired a copy editor. Yay. So he's gonna get it back to me by November 4th. So yeah, and then from there, you know, I could hire, there's like line editing, a proofreader, blah, blah, blah. But my priority after this is probably getting like a designer to look at it. And sorry, I'm gonna do something really gross. Ew. And start to get it formatted. Anyway, this is all getting ahead of myself. But my book right now is in the copy editing phase. And hopefully that will get back to me in 2 weeks or so. And then, yeah, so what else do I have to share about it? Yes, the release date is January 28th of next year. So to me, the book, when I think of like the color scheme of the book, it's very gray, it's very icy, it's very blue, it's very white, blue, light blues, grays, blacks, like very that. And to me, those color scheme is kind of like a wintry theme. And when you look at my book and when it was originally written, right back in 2014, when I was in treatment, it was during the winter time. And my first excerpt from my journal and the day that I went into treatment was January 28th, 2014. So I kind of thought I had to do some cool little homage to that. So it's coming out on that date. 8 years later? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yes, 8 years later. So I thought that was kind of like a cool symbolic moment. I have an Instagram page for it if you guys want to follow it. I will link it down below. It is just at On Thin Ice Book. I am sharing some graphics related to the book every now and then, some like fun facts about the book and the writing process, some did you know, some Q&As, just some like interesting, just to get the whole, publishing thing more interactive. So I'm posting a few things on there. I also have a Twitter account for it, which I'm pretty bad at Twitter, so I mean, yeah. But the Instagram is pretty cool, I hope, and I'm making everything myself. And that's something also I really want to share, that I have really done all of this by myself, which I have really prided myself on throughout this whole journey. I'm self-publishing this book. I have been approached by 2 like indie publishing houses, and we didn't really ever get past like the initial couple of emails because I was just very frank and I said, thank you, but I want to have control over this and I want this to be mine. And I have the cover basically finished already and I have the title finished. The cover shoot was really fun. I did it myself. I rented out a photo studio, and I borrowed my friend's camera and I went to town, and I think about 4 minutes into the whole shoot, I knew that I had gotten the shot, which was really exciting and fun. What is that on my phone? Hulu? Sorry. Yeah, so, I found my editors on my own through Reedsy, which is a pretty good site. Their fees are a little high, but I've been using them pretty consistently. And when this book is finished, it's finished. When it's published, when it's done, when it's out there, I just want to be able to look at it, and I want you guys to be able to look at it and think and know, that this is 100% me, and it's something that I've been working so long on. I quit my job about a month or 2 ago to just work on this full time and work on my social media full time, and it's been amazing. And I just, yeah, it's been a really long, fun journey, also filled with a lot of hurt and just like revisiting all of these times in my life and reading what I was going through. It's definitely brought me back sometimes. There was a time when I thought to myself that I had to almost get back into that headspace to work on my book because I wouldn't really know how to write it unless I was relapsing. And for a minute there I was, and that was really scary. So I just want this book and the whole process to be as real and transparent as possible, and I'm really, really proud of it. Yeah. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, I created a shirt for the book, if you want to support it. It's on my shop, chrishenrie.store. I will link that down below. Just a really simple line art illustration of not the cover of my book, but like another photo from the shoot of my book. So yeah, if you just want to support the book, you could follow it on Instagram. You can, I don't know, just watch this video, share it, like it, and I hope that going forward I want to, just share more about it with you all. And I hope that you enjoy this. I'm looking here on my computer. Oh, that's what I posted online, right? Here's what I posted on Instagram. My memoir, Untittled Historian Diary of a Male Anorexic, has been in the works since 2017, but its original content dates back to the very day I began my recovery from anorexia nervosa, January 28th, 2014. Nearly 8 years ago, I made the decision to receive treatment for my eating disorder in an inpatient hospitalization program in New Jersey. There, I kept a journal filled with the various thoughts and feelings I was experiencing at the time. My memoir is a collection of several essays written throughout the contents of that very journal. Essays that hope to explore the development of my disorder and the environment which allowed it to flourish. My goal by publishing this book, in addition to my years-long work as a content creator and vocal online advocate for recovery, is to provide you with a raw and honest look into the mind of an anorexic, and a disease that so commonly gets misjudged and stereotyped. I hope that On Thin Ice widens the inclusivity of eating disorder recovery and enables both those who suffer from an eating disorder and those who do not to find their voices. It is my honor and privilege to share my story with you. And the reason why I say that is because many people don't share their stories for many reasons. And I consider myself lucky in the sense that I am here to share it. And also, I just don't think enough people do. So something that was constantly on my mind throughout this whole process was like, why am I sharing my story? Like, why am I doing this? Who cares about Chris Henrie's story? There's millions of people who suffer from this illness out there. And when I thought about why I wanted to publish this book, why I wanted to share my story, it all just came back to the fact that I don't think enough people do. And yeah, so here I am. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I haven't talked this much in a while. So I'm a little bit feeling funny. I hope you guys like this video. I hope you learned something from it about my book if you're interested, and I will hopefully talk to you guys soon. If you want to keep up with me, be sure to follow me on TikTok. Instagram is where I'm most active every single day. But yeah, hopefully we'll get back into some sort of YouTube routine. That is my hope. We'll see. Alright, I love you guys so much. I have not forgotten about any of you here on YouTube. I come on here every day and I'm just like, get sad, but let's make it happy, right? Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Yeah, bye.